So just talking back on insurance, have you got any top tips for owner drivers?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for the question. The first response is always talk to us. We are, we believe, the biggest courier broker in the UK, particularly for van and fleet insurance. When I say courier, we're talking up to 7.5 ton in weight. We can save you money instantly because we have products that nobody else has for the van, for the public liability, employer's liability, and the goods in transit. We know, for want of a better phrase, the tricks. And what I mean by the tricks is we know how to talk to the underwriters to get you discounts you won't get just by entering your information online. So perhaps you've been running your own business for a year, but before that you worked for FedEx for 5 years. That 5 years of experience counts for something. It only counts for something if you come and talk to us and we can talk to an underwriter. If you go onto a price comparison website, you don't get that. You don't get that message. And I can give you a million examples, I won't because you'll get bored, of how we can deploy that across all of the different insurances we do. So for owner drivers, my top tip to save money on insurance is to pick up the phone and talk to us.
Yeah. So staying on insurance, any top tips for small fleets?
Small and large fleets, to be honest, James. So, I mean, small fleets, just so everyone knows, is generally starts from 3 vehicles. I think once you get over kind of 15, you're generally considered by the insurance market to starting to move towards that larger sector. Top tips. The top tip is always to pick up the phone and talk to us because we can give you loads of information on how to save money on your fleet. Because of who we are, and like I've said multiple times, the fact that we believe we're the largest courier broker in the UK, we do have access to products and insurers that the average broker on the street simply doesn't have, and certainly products you'll never find online. The majority of the products for fleet are not available online at all, so you need to come and talk to specialists like us. My top tips to all of you running fleets today: check your drivers, making sure that they've got the right licenses, they haven't got too many points. Check your policy. You're probably not allowed to have so many points per driver, so make sure you go and check that. Report your claims. Some of our clients, we've seen claims reporting times of 20 to 30 days. That's a long time to go without an unreported claim. You might think that you're going to get away with it, but the reality is the third party often does claim it. And one of the really cool tip I want to give everyone is I've seen something put in place actually via community car clubs called Car Guardians. What they do is either once a day or once a week, they check the van or the car. Bit of a walk around. Are there any dents? Are there any knocks that might give away that one of your drivers has perhaps had a little crash, and because he doesn't want to get in trouble or she doesn't want to get in trouble, maybe not told you about it? That could be the sign of unreported claim. You doing that little free check could actually save you a fortune, because the faster you report your claims, the lower the cost of those claims comes. And then when you come to talk to us about either joining BCD or renewing BCD, we're in the best possible position to save you money. And we were talking about marginal gains earlier in the podcast. That marginal gain could actually be quite considerable. Imagine you've got 20 vehicles and you could save 10% at least.
It's so simple.
Absolutely.
And for, I guess, freight forwarders, whether new to the market or existing, any top tips for those guys?
Yeah, I mean, freight forwarder insurance is, compared to the owner drivers and compared to, I guess, the vehicle insurance, thankfully isn't that expensive. But perhaps more than anything, maybe some of the freight forwarders don't have the insurance at all. Maybe they feel that the party at either end will pick it up. Ultimately, if you're responsible for getting a quite expensive item, so I spoke to a member at the recent members event who had transported, what they told me was a box worth £1 million between the south to Scotland. And they were a freight forwarding business. And I just asked the question, I'm an insurance guy, I'm going to ask these questions. What would have happened if it got lost? And there was a moment. And this individual, well, possibly mild panic. They did have some insurance, but it only went up to £20,000. Now, £1 million is definitely coverable. But if they picked up the phone and spoken to their broker, hopefully they'd have got any help. They got some help. They certainly would have got it from BCD. So if you are a freight forwarder and you are arranging something to go from A to B, and it could be anything with these guys, right? It could be some parcels, it could be cars, it could be, I don't know, weapons. We've seen it. Pick up the phone, talk to us, whether it's a cheap and cheerful simple goods in transit policy or whether it's a one-off large expensive item from A to B, we can sort that for you as well. So pick up the phone.